Hey guys, it's Lynn. Welcome back to the shop. Today's little project is a special project that is not a knife or any weapon of that sort. I have been trying to update the shop, get some better tools in here, and I've come across through a friend of mine a antique post leg vise. This is part of it, and here's the post leg. So this is an antique smithing vise, blacksmith, bladesmith, maybe even farriers, and it's quite heavy. It's solid steel. The advantage to these over modern day vices like this one right here on my bench is it is solid steel. This one is cast steel. These are not made to withstand a lot of abuse and shock loading and forces being applied to them. Should you over torque this or clamp a piece of metal in here and start whacking on it with a hammer, you run a great risk of breaking this vise. They're just not meant to hold up to that kind of abuse. These old solid steel post leg vices are. There's nothing cast on this. Even this eyelet here and this bracket down here on the bottom, all this is forged. You can tell that this was forged well together and beat into shape, probably by hand. So it's just a way better tool for what I'm trying to do. This is very old. I've taken it apart, I've cleaned it all up, I've oiled everything. I did not find any markings on it to indicate who made it or how old it is. And I don't know that much about these things anyway. But I did run into a little bit of a problem. It's not 100% original. There's a mounting bracket that this goes to the bench. It's got a couple holes in it. This collar piece slips over that and mounts the two jaws to it. And there's a little wedge piece that goes in right there. What you will notice is there's still a considerable gap right there. And how it was put together when I acquired this was with a bolt and two very old square nails. This piece in itself is not exactly symmetrical. It looks handmade. I don't know that this piece is actually original. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not. But it seems like it really fits, so I'm probably going to keep this. And seeing as how I don't have another one of these that I know to be original and 100% intact, it's really kind of best guess of what that piece is supposed to be. I may do a little bit of research on the internet to make sure of that, but my guess is we're looking for a steel wedge. And since this is 100 years old, maybe even 150 years old, I'm not going to run down to Ace Hardware and get one, so we're going to have to make the piece that we're missing and then reassemble, and we'll have a working tool that we can use. I'm going to film all that. Should be a fun little project. So here's a railroad spring clip, and that should be just about what we need. Let's straighten this out. Into the fire. There we go. tapering that wedge. Shapes pretty well there.
Just get a little bit of cleanup. Clean those sharp edges. We'll cut it off.
I don't want to do any grinding on this. I want this to be 100% a forged piece. Make it a little more authentic and traditional. Okay, check that against our bracket. Goes in there pretty good. I think that'll do it. Let's get the other piece. So this is the first piece that goes in. Goes in right there. And our wedge piece. Little tap. I think that's going to work just fine. I think that's just about perfect. It's got a little bit of a sharp edge there, and I want to kind of roll that around, so I hit that with a rasp just to take that edge off. Just give it a little brush, get all that scale. Now that our piece is finished, it's time to start reassembling this. Have that color. See a hammer? Good. Like that. Right. That's going to go up there. I need that bolt. The bolt, yeah, that's it. Hey, pinching my finger. Flat square nut for this. No, that's square nut right there. Big washer, big round washer. Collar piece. spin this. Keep going. Spin it. Keep going. 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 Keep spinning. Keep spinning. Alright, that's it. Alright, now time for a bracket piece.
Where's that gonna go?
This goes right here. And the little one, that one's probably still hot.
Is it?
That's a little warm. Let me see a piece of wood. Crank that back up. Crank that back up. Keep going. Should have got this in first. Alright, stop. We're jamming our spring up. Hang on. That's good. That should help our spring work a little better too.
Can I turn it?
It's good and tight. Now, previously the spring didn't work all that good, and I considered reforging the spring, but I think now that we have that collar tight, the spring is going to work better. So as I loosen it, the jaws should open, and they are very nicely. So that solved our problem with the spring. We didn't have to reforge that spring. Jaws meet up together pretty good. Nut on there. Everything looks good. That is the complete assembly. This bracket here mounts to the bench. That post goes to the floor. And that's it. That is a restored antique post leg vise. That was a fun little project. Hope you enjoyed.